Thank you, Mr. Chairman. DHS Secretary Ali Mayorkas has repeatedly asserted, including in sworn testimony to this committee, that the southern border is secure. Now, this, of course, is a lie, and not even a very subtle one. We know the numbers. A stunning 3 million encounters since Inauguration Day, when Joe Biden reversed the Trump administration's enforcement measures, with roughly half of these admitted and trafficked to every community in our nation. Another 900,000 known gotaways. We're all seeing the effect of these policies, the strain on our schools, our hospitals, our public safety, working class wages and opportunities, social services. No civilization, to my knowledge, has ever survived the magnitude of illegal mass migration on the scale that the Democrats have unleashed in just 18 months. And Gallup warns there are another 42 million people in Latin America and the Caribbean who intend to come here now that they can. Well, when Mayorkas appeared before this committee, he couldn't tell us how it benefits the American people to have their classrooms packed with non-English speaking students, their emergency rooms flooded with illegals demanding basic care, how their families will be safer with increased gang activity and fentanyl inundating communities, or how working families will be made better by flooding the labor market with cheap illegal labor while they foot the bill for social services. How do our Democratic colleagues react to this unprecedented illegal migration that they've unleashed? Do they call on the Biden administration to stop the releases? Do they call on the president to actually enforce U.S. immigration laws, or at least stop incentivizing this mass illegal migration? No, they mark up this bill that readmits immigrant veterans who were later deported, mainly for committing criminal offenses. Using veterans for cover, they go on to provide that any alien who adjusts status to or is admitted as a lawful permanent resident shall be presumed to have established good moral character. What? The effect of this will be that millions of people per year will be presumed to have satisfied their good moral character burden simply by producing their green card. The legal permanent residents who enlist in our military are offered special avenues for naturalization under the Immigration and Nationality Act. About 3% of U.S. veterans today are foreign-born. Many have chosen to become U.S. citizens. Now, for a while, we allowed non-legal permanent residents, including those here on student visas, refugee claimants, and DACA recipients, to enlist in order to claim a fast track to citizenship. It was called the MAVNI program. It was such a debacle that the Obama administration had to suspend it in 2016. One MAVNI enlistment, Ji Jiaqun, was found to be a Chinese spy. A number of foreign nationals who enlisted in our military were subsequently deported for committing crimes. Now, foreign nationals who come to America legally, who obey our laws, and seek to serve our country because of a love for it and the principles upon which it's founded, are one of our greatest strengths. 11 years ago, I spoke at the funeral of Gurpreet Singh, whose family had immigrated from India legally 11 years before that. His father told a reporter that Gurpreet was, quote, always a very patriotic man for the U.S. From the time he was a little boy, he knew he wanted to serve in the U.S. military. Gurpreet was very proud of his service with the Marines. Well, Corporal Singh was wounded in combat, chose to return, overstayed his assignment to relieve a friend, and was killed in action in Helmand Province, June 22, 2011. Yet the majority seems unable or unwilling to tell the difference between a Chinese spy like Ji Jiaqun and an American hero like Gurpreet Singh. I pray the majority is not attempting to equate such heroism, devotion, and fidelity with the lawless, illegal mass migration they're not only ignoring, but actively aiding and abetting with their policies. 31,000 foreign nationals now serve in our armed forces. This is less than 4 days of border incursions that we're currently seeing. The IMMVI program has naturalized about 1,000 veterans over the last 16 months. That's the number of illegal aliens streaming across our border every 3 hours. H.R. 7946 does nothing to address the chaos on the U.S. border, makes major changes to U.S. naturalization law, and it furthers the Democrats' anti-enforcement agenda. For those reasons, I oppose the bill, and I yield back.